Today on Hey, We're Talking.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bull crap. I did not hit her. I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa! Oh, hi, Mark. It's Hey, We're Talking. And I'm going to have a hard time saying my lines. Because today on Hey, We're Talking, we're going to talk about one of the most amazing films ever created, The Room. You guys are just sitting there like, what is he saying?
What a story, Scott.
My friends that are here today are, oh, hi, Bob, and oh, hi, Derek.
Oh, hi, Scott.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this movie, now listen, we're late to the party, let's be real. This thing has been, people have been talking about this movie for a decade or more because it's so terrible. It's straight up terrible. Now, Derek, you watched it all the way through before Bob and I did, I believe, correct?
Yeah, and we kind of talked about it
Yeah.
a few months ago, and it finally took maybe Boontar, again, convincing you guys to try to give it a shot.
No, here's
Doesn't
the
matter
reason.
what I say.
No, here's the reason. I watched The Disaster Artist. I had seen all these clips of The Room a million times, but I'd never watched the whole entire movie. And I watched The Disaster Artist, which is the James Franco movie that's based on The Room. It's actually from a book called The Disaster Artist that Greg Sestero and another guy wrote about the making of The Room, okay? And this book, sold bazillions, I'm sure. Any which way, so I watched the movie The Disaster Artist before I watched the full movie of The Room. And then when we were all talking about it in our Voxer chat, which we talked about the other day, people were like, actually Kaylee's the one that was like, this is not cool because Derek has watched the movie and Bob and Scott have not watched the movie. And I was like, yeah, but you can pretty much get the feel. And then everybody was like, no, you have to watch the whole thing. So I sat down the other day and watched this total piece of garbage movie. It's 1 hour and 39 minutes. And I thought every time I would how sometimes you'll kind of touch whatever you're watching to see how much longer the movie has to go, because you think to yourself, I've been watching this a long time. Nope. No, I kept looking and I was like, I cannot believe there's still another hour and 10 minutes of this movie left. That's how it felt when I was watching it. And my wife works upstairs and there were numerous times where I just was like, oh my gosh, screamed at the top of my lungs because it was so bad. There were so many things that were bad.
Okay, so before we get into more and more details about The Room, let me just read you what the description of the movie is.
Okay.
And then we'll continue talking. So Johnny is a successful banker who lives happily in a San Francisco townhouse with his fiancée, Lisa. One day, inexplicably, she gets bored with him and decides to seduce his best friend, Mark. From there, nothing will ever be the same again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
it's basically what it is.
That's what it is.
The whole movie.
Except for, let's just get this out of the way. Again, I think I mentioned this before, but The Room is not a movie you're going to want to watch with your children in the room.
No.
If you're offended by gratuitous sex scenes, you're not going to want to watch this one. But the sex scenes are literally hilarious. They're dumb. It's pure stupidity.
Well, there's 3 sex scenes within the first 15 minutes.
Yeah. And they're just like, what in the world? When you watch the movie, The Disaster Artist, when they get to that part where Tommy is filming this thing, I mean, dude, if even an ounce of that actually happened, no wonder those scenes were so awkward. That chick was treated so badly.
Tommy Wiseau said on Jimmy Kimmel that the movie is 99.9% accurate.
Yeah.
So
It's
if you
terrible.
go watch the trailers, if you go watch the trailer for The Disaster Artist, one of the comments that Seth Rogen makes in the trailer, he says, during one of the sex scenes, why is he so far up on her? Is he like doing it with her belly button?
Yes.
And I just laughed because as that one of the scenes was going down, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, there's no way positions were.
He doesn't understand human anatomy, apparently, because he was not in the right area. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
And in the Disaster Artist, they keep telling him, like, nobody wants to see your butt. But in his scenes in particular, his butt is on full display. They use the sheets strategically on certain other parts, but his bum is in full view, and you're just kind of like,
he's very proud.
Dude, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
Like, no, that's the point. You must see.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you know it's good.
But there are, just like you said, Bob, there are way too many sex scenes in a very short amount of time in the beginning of the movie.
Right, and then after that, shortly thereafter. I mean, this movie only takes place over a couple days.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Well, you really don't. But I mean,
because
it
my
seems
timeline,
like it would only be a few days.
That's part of the thing that drove me crazy in the movie is there's no timeline.
No,
it's like they're getting married in a month. Now they have tuxes on and they're playing football in the street in their tuxes. What is happening? Why are they wearing tuxes?
Lisa is cleaning the house for a surprise birthday party that's happening tonight. And then like 2 days go by and it still hadn't happened.
Right.
And it's just like, wait, I thought that party was tonight. That's why you were sweeping the floor and your friend came over and you moved the coffee table and all that stuff. But then a couple days went by and the party hadn't even happened yet.
Yeah, the movie is just
like,
filled with continuity errors. So many. Derek, I know you want to say something. What are you going to say? I can see it.
Oh, I mean, that's the whole appeal. I mean, that's the whole, not appeal, but that's what the whole movie is. It's just bizarre choices made with the, sex scenes, choices made with the dialogue. That's what just stands out to me.
Yeah.
It's like the things that these people say, the things that the characters say, you wouldn't say that. It's not a conversation. Even, I mean, and I can understand Tommy Wiseau, who plays Johnny, who wrote the movie. He's a creepy foreign guy.
Yeah.
He's from, he's English, probably not his first language, even though he says I'm from New Orleans, Dude's from Poland. Probably.
Yeah.
Dude's from Poland.
He's
probably.
some Eastern European country. There's no doubt
I
about
figure
it.
he was like, he's probably 60 years old from Poland, by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say he was European. He said he was from Europe, but he's American from New Orleans or Louisiana.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So it's just like, what?
He's
trying to pass himself off as an all-American guy. He loves America. Tommy Wiseau loves America, and America loves Tommy. And so he's trying to portray himself as this all-American guy.
Yeah.
So that's why they're playing football. But he's not American.
No.
He's not. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it.
No.
So he's trying to what he thinks might be American. So it's like throwing
even the
footballs.
way he dresses in the movie, which is basically how he dressed in real life, and then his hair. I'm not saying that long hair is a non-American thing, but it's like he has that long, I'm a vampire kind of hair, something like you would just expect, some person that walks around in the middle of the night seeking people to suck the blood out of, kind of a thing. I don't know. But the other thing that bothered me, the continuity errors thing, was as I was watching it, the other thing that really started to confuse me, and I wondered why I was having such a hard time, was the room that they do a lot of this stuff in. I never knew which direction they had to go to get to the front door. It always felt like somehow the front door was not where I thought it was going to be. And then Hector pointed this out too. How about that beautiful fireplace that just appears out of nowhere when he and the counselor friend and Mark are all in this room and they're sitting there, but it's in his house somehow. It was bizarre. I just got so confused. There's actually a thing somebody put up. It says how many walls are in the room. It's like this big thing that someone wrote about how it just seems like there's all these different angles in this one room. It's crazy.
The room's got to be like an octagon or something. It's got
bizarre.
Just a bunch of different walls that move constantly, so we don't always get to see them.
And the weird staircase up to the bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It was ghost directed by Stanley Kubrick. You know.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, no, but yeah, the dialogue was so bizarre, and that Tommy had to have written it himself because it's like anytime they tried to discuss something, Lisa is always like, I don't want to talk about it. But the number of times she says, I don't want to talk about it. They try to anytime anything tries to come up to be resolved, it just disappears. And one of the lines that just exemplifies everything that we would not say this in real life was when Mark and Johnny are sitting on the roof and Mark says, I knew this girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out, beat her up so bad, she wound up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
I love that he tells on Guerrero Street, by the way.
Right. Just the way he says it, and the detail he puts in there on Guerrero Street, and Tommy just like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, he's leaning back in a chair. Ha, ha, ha.
What a story, Mark. I'm like, that is not how anybody would have a conversation. If I would be like, I would say there was a girl I knew got beat up because she was.
And the person would be like, "What? Really?"
Yeah, like what happened to the guy? Did he go to jail?
Yeah.
Did he beat anybody before? But no, it was Mark.
That's a great
story.
And in the movie, in the Disaster Artist movie, the Seth Rogen's like kind of like the director / script whatever guy, and he's like, "Whoa! Why are you laughing?" He like asks him that, and he's like, oh, okay, try it again. And he tries it again, and he still goes, ha, 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 ha. Every time he won't stop doing it. So they're like, okay, let's just move on.
One of my other scenes that I absolutely loved was when he decided, he overheard his mother-in-law, future mother-in-law, and Lisa talking. He decided he was going to record their conversation. So two pieces of this. One, he was up on the stair.
Though. It was the phone.
He wanted but he wanted to record the phone conversations, everything. So He's up on the stairs. By the time he walks down the spiral staircase and walks over 10 feet to this where the phone was, this stand, he just happened to have a tape recorder and a tape in his pocket.
Yeah.
So it's like there was no break, there was nothing in between. He literally just walked from the stairs to this table 10 feet away and magically appeared a tape recorder, and there was a cassette tape in his pocket. And I will say they did break a world record, maybe, depending on the timeline, because he put that tape on record and it kept recording and recording. It must have recorded for days on one side of a cassette tape, which is absolutely amazing.
Here's how I figured that out. Here's what I thought to myself. Okay. Now, I don't know what technology would need to be in place to do this, but if you had back in the 80s, 90s, had an answering machine at your house, you would just hit the buttons if you had one of those little tapes in there, and then when a phone picked up, it would start recording. But even that only if the call came in, it would pick up. It didn't record phone calls that you made or took. It wouldn't be recording you on the answering machine unless you waited until it got past hi, this is the so-and-so household, da-da-da-da-da-da, leave a message, and you still picked it up because the person was like, hello, and then you were like, hello, I'm here. Then it would still kind of record some of you, but normally, no, it wouldn't do that.
I'm lost.
I think Bob
I'm lost. I don't know what's going on.
Doesn't that look like he's completely frozen? He is totally frozen, isn't he?
I think
that
he's
is
frozen.
The best face.
It's like a look of disinterest. Like,
yes, it is.
ugh.
Yeah. Okay, listen.
Goodness.
We'll take a quick break and we'll get Bob back. That was such a great face. And then we'll figure out this whole cassette tape thing.
Great story, Scott.
Today's show is sponsored by Gamefly.com. 30-day free trial. Go to Gameflyoffer.com/HWT. Hey, we're back. We're talking about The Room. Tommy Wiseau, Greg Sestero, two guys who made one of the worst movies in the history of cinema. But it's
However,
beloved.
Scott.
It's beloved.
However, Scott, it is highly entertaining. It is beloved, especially by me, especially by you two. Y'all love it.
No.
And we want Tommy. You are thoroughly
wait,
entertained.
I do love it because we want Tommy to come on the show. Yes.
I do love it. I was thoroughly entertained.
And I wouldn't be mean to Tommy. I wouldn't be like, "Oh, dude, this movie sucked so bad." I would laugh with him about stuff. I'd be nice.
Yeah, I would love to have him on the show. I think it'd be just absolutely hilarious to actually break it down and talk with him about some of the, about Johnny.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. He was a very successful banker with hair that went down to the middle of his back. I find that hard to believe.
He got a big client, though.
But I cannot tell you. It's confidential. Ha ha ha. Anyway, how's your sex life?
Oh, I gotta go. And then he's like, I gotta go.
I gotta go.
So another thing that was funny within the movie is Lisa's mom would always come over. She'd always stop by, and somehow Johnny and their relationship would be brought up, and Lisa always said, I don't want to talk about it. And then the mom's like, okay, well, I got to go. And she left just about every time.
You know the one
and
thing
it's
they
like,
did good about
why
that?
did she even stop by?
You know what? The one good thing they did about that, though, was you could see why Lisa was the most terrible human in the world because her mom was pretty close to a terrible human also.
That's true.
I don't know about that.
They were both biatches.
I don't know. I kind of liked the mom.
You're so full of crap. You do not
I
like that
liked her.
mom.
No, she was.
I got the test results back. I definitely have cancer.
Right. Well, and to touch on that, she's like, I'm probably going to die. And then Lisa's like, Mom, don't say that. And she's like, yeah, I'll probably be fine. It's like, wait, what?
Lisa was all that the mother has ever seen is Tommy just love and give and dote on Lisa. That's all all the mother has seen is that Tommy's just like a great guy.
You're making it sound like Johnny, yeah, but listen.
Sorry, Johnny.
You're saying all this stuff, but the only redeeming quality that her mom ever really cares about is that he has enough money to take care of her. Even if you don't love him, you should stay with him because he has money.
True. She was like a money grabber.
Yeah, but he's also a great guy, and that's what she was trying to point out from the beginning. No. Like Tommy takes care of you. He's a great guy.
Money.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy, too.
No, that's not how she said it. She kept saying, you don't leave him because he takes care of you with the money. It's all money.
But she did say she liked Johnny.
Oh. Yeah, she did. So she's like, he's a great person. He's taking care of you. He's good to you. And then she was just coming up with this, Johnny's hitting me. And the mother must have just seen right through that because she was like, no.
And what does that make us think of? I did not hit her. I did not. It's bull crap. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah.
I did not.
I did not. I changed it from bull S to bull crap. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, because we try to keep it clean here on Hey,
and that's
We're
why
Talking.
I said B-I-H.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bull crap. I did not hit her. I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark. It's so bad. The other thing that brings up is there's this on top of the roof. There is this little doorway that they come in and out of like 100 million times. These people are coming out of this thing, and everybody has to duck down about 1.5 feet to get through this thing. Yeah. And I just thought to myself, could nobody have thought, hey, let's make this thing bigger so that people
like a normal size
their
door.
Head? It's terrible. Every time, and they come in and out of that thing multiple times up there, and there's nothing. That's the other thing that's funny too, is inside there. It's just like a shack. It's like a little shed, but like a really, really, really little shed, metal shed. And one time there was like 3 or 4 of them that went in at the same time, and they just have to stand there once they get in. It doesn't go anywhere. So dumb.
Well, it goes downstairs. What do you mean?
It does. It was so dumb.
Yeah.
And the green screen stuff. So when they're on this roof, it's all green screen, like the background. There's brick and everything, like they have that stuff for like a little ledge and stuff, but behind it, the scenery in the background is all this green screen. And the part where Mark gets into the fight and almost throws the counselor off the roof, the psychologist guy, when they are kind of moving around a little bit, the background gets really trippy. It doesn't stay normal because they get really close in on Mark, and the background does this weird thing, like shifts. It's almost like you're watching Inception for a second. It's pretty weird.
It's a lot of fun.
that's it's such a crazy movie, and the fact that like he rebuilt an alleyway out of a studio, within the studio that literally resembled the alleyway outside, and the fact that he purchased everything instead of like renting the cameras and this and that, it's just absolutely wild. And I wonder where Tommy got all his money from.
Yeah. And that's the big thing they point out in the movie is Tommy's got in the Disaster Artist. They really kind of make you understand that this guy is so loaded. I mean, he's got a place in San Francisco where he meets Mark, and then they move together to Los Angeles where he has a place that he just kind of has. And those are
and
not
he's got
cheap
money for
places
Denny.
to live. Yeah, he's got money to take care of Denny in the room, and it's just this guy has like an endless amount of money. It's crazy.
A lot of it's and that's the fun part of the whole thing is the mystery of Tommy Wiseau. We don't know anything about him. He's more mysterious than Johnny. At least Johnny, we know what he does. He's a banker, and he's got clients. It's confidential. I cannot tell you.
Yeah.
At least we know a little something about him. Tommy is more mysterious than that. We don't know how old he is for real. We don't know like where he's from. We think he's from Poland. But we don't. That stuff is kept purposefully private, and I think that's a genius thing. I think keeping this mystery, this mystique about Tommy Wiseau, it just adds to the whole fervor, the whole
it creates intrigue for sure. It makes people say, "Who is this guy? Why is this guy making these crappy movies, and where is he getting all the money?" One of the things that's funny in the Disaster Artist they show at the end is that he actually paid this theater where they opened the movie in to keep it running for 2 weeks so that it could be considered for the Oscars. So it could be part of the Academy Awards if it was going to win anything. So he kept it in this theater, and like nobody came to see it back then. But here's the real funny thing though. Now people all over the country watch this movie. It's like, what do they say? It's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of a thing.
It's a cult classic.
It's an interactive experience. It's one of those midnight showing things. People go and see this movie, and Tommy and Greg show up to tons of these things with people and hang out and have fun with the people watching the movie. This movie has been alive for 15 years now, kicking butt.
So yes, the movie came out in 2003. If you watch the movie and you actually know what we're talking about, and some of you have or have not seen it, but you should go just check it out. It's on YouTube. It cost $6 million to make this movie, and if you just
$6 million well spent.
Yeah. I could do a heck of a lot more with $6 million. And considering something like Blair Witch Project cost like $16,000 to make the whole movie.
Well,
it's or $60,000 to make the whole movie, and it made millions and millions of dollars.
Paranormal Activities also was super tiny budget.
I like how you guys are comparing these weird horror movies to
Room,
a classical masterpiece.
We're talking about the budget, budgeting. So here, according to this, if you just search on Google, how much did the Room make, or how much did it cost to make the Room? $6 million is what it says. But it says it released June 27, 2003, $6 million budget. The box office totals
$1,800.
$1,900.
But now, all these years later, I believe they now have made a profit on the film after all these years.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, he's going to get his cut from the disaster artist. Tommy Wiseau will. And, like you said, there are midnight showings. There's actually one tomorrow night here in Chicago, downtown Chicago, at 11:59 showing of The Room.
You got to
it's like, I'm not going to go, but I'm not going to go downtown Chicago for an hour and 39-minute movie and then come home and no, forget that. But he'll make his money back now, which is just absolutely crazy. It just took a long time a long investment to make his money back.
Well, let's be honest. He already had the money.
Yeah. And I think the money is like the least amount of what Tommy was looking for. He just wanted to be a movie star.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's what I'll take away from the whole experience is because Tommy had this vision to create a dramatic masterpiece. And what it turned out to be was an unintentional comedy because everything was just done the wrong way, that it created this unintentional comedy that was just as more entertaining than anything that his vision, even if he would have executed his movie perfectly, it still would not have been as entertaining as what The Room was, what it became. And the great thing is that he embraced it. He didn't say like, what's going on? How come you're not taking this movie seriously? He saw that they were laughing at it. He saw that and he just embraced it. He owned it. And I think that speaks more to Tommy Wiseau's character than anything else. And I'm being serious about that because he could have said, this is embarrassing. He could have shut the movie down, never released it after seeing the reaction that it got. Because he's like, why are you laughing at this? This is supposed to be a serious film, But he was like, yeah, I did this on purpose. He's like, yeah, this was what it was supposed to be all along.
Right. In the Disaster Artist, they do show him being very upset that they're laughing at him and think it's horrible. And Greg talks to him outside. This could be all Hollywood. But he talks to him and is just like, dude, listen to the reaction of the people in that theater. They're enjoying themselves. Even if you didn't mean for it to be funny, people are having a great time. They're loving what you made. And then he, kind of accepts that. And then he goes up on stage and is like, I'm glad you understand my comedy. And I'm like, oh, dude. But that really does seem like what Tommy's like. He's not going to let on that he's embarrassed. He's not going to let on that it hurt his feelings. He's going to embrace the fact that people just liked what he made and he doesn't care because his whole goal is just to be famous, really. That's what it seems like to me.
Well, and he is now. That's the cool piece. Well,
hugely famous.
Yeah.
Hugely famous.
The crazy thing is, if you could find anything on the internet. I mean, you could find all kinds of stuff. But if you start looking at trying to find his net worth, trying to find more information about him, nobody's got anything. And everybody says, even the people close to him don't actually know how old he is, where he's from, all of that stuff. So he is just a big mystery, which is just crazy nowadays because the internet, you could just about find anything.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we could obviously revisit The Room at a later date. There's still stuff that we didn't talk about, but Greg and Tommy have stayed together actually and made other movies. I'd like to find some of these other movies, but they have a new movie coming out called Best Friends, and the F is in parentheses. Or no,
the R is in parentheses.
So it's like Best Fiends is the joke, I guess.
Maybe Chris R will be in it.
I don't think Tommy is involved in the the writing or directing. He's just a star
of Best Friends.
Yeah, okay. I think Greg helped write it.
Yeah,
I've seen the previews. It looks like good. It's not going to be an unintentional comedy. It's going to be like an actually good film.
Yeah, it might be okay. You're right. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're gonna try and reach out to Tommy and Greg, and we're gonna try and get them on Hey We're Talking. We didn't really talk too much about that, but we're going to talk about it again.
I've also thought about doing like a Mystery Science Theater and put up a fourth screen here and actually watch the show while we sit here or watch the movie as we talk through it. I think that'd be hilarious.
I'm just thinking about the logistics of that. I like the idea, but I'm like, oh boy.
I know.
Fun. And
I'll
we'll
just have to get a second computer. That's all.
We'll immediately get ripped off of YouTube too.
Why? Because I mean,
why?
The room is on. Why, Mark?
You're
the room is on there.
Bob!
Okay, the room is on there, and it's not been taken down.
We're going to end the show while you're looking for information. But yeah, we'll probably talk about the room again because it's fun. And get involved in the conversation. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We're on all of those. Facebook, and we'll have another. We're going to do another entertainment type show coming up on Friday. Unfortunately, Derek will not be on the Friday show.
I'll be here.
No, you won't.
Go.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
You won't make it. You'll
Yeah,
never
I will.
make it. You're going to make it? You think you have enough time? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Derek's made an executive decision, so I guess
We go now.
Okay, I'm trying to end the
End
show.
the
Let me end the
show.
show then, for the love. Good grief. Do you see what I deal with?
It's terrible.
Unbelievable. That's Hey We're Talking.